Yes, I'm in the same outfit, and yes, this is the same day, and yes, this was literally just me walking, turned it off, and now turned it back on. Yes, that is what happened. um, all right, this is me. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Me and Willie channel. Please, make me no. Wow, wow, wow. Please. Okay. I guess I should start off by sharing my life with you guys, right? Sharing what it was like growing up in a Christian home that wasn't very Christian. My mental health struggles, and how it came from there, since I was a baby till now. Let me just, okay. So yeah, I did grow up in a Christian home. My foot is touching that thing over there. I grew up in a Christian home. My mom and my dad came from Korea to America. My mom after high school, my dad for college. It was my dad's dad that really liked my mom, and my mom didn't have a father, so I'm sure that gave her some kind of good feelings or comfort or something, feeling like this guy's dad wants his son to marry her. So it was more of a that's how and why they got married versus they met randomly and went on these dates and fell in love. It wasn't really that kind of a situation. I want to share things without saying too much or being disrespectful, if that makes sense. So I guess some details will be left out, of course. So yeah, growing up in a Christian home, I remember going to a lot of different churches. My dad would take us to different conferences when I was in middle school, high school. My brother went to Brazil for church missionary conference kind of thing. I've been on mission trips as well to Jordan, Syria, Turkey, as well as my brother has. There's three of us, by the way, my oldest, and then my middle, and then me. My oldest never went. He was kind of in his room all the time, played a lot of games. He's, I guess to simply put, kind of a hermit kind of a person, I'm trying to find the right word. So just simply put, he was in his room a lot. He was left alone a lot, but he is really, really smart. He is really, really, really smart. He used to write my essays in high school, and he would do it that night, just he could care less, and I would get a C, or he would get a C, I should say, but that's a different story. Yeah, my first brother, super, super smart. He's actually IQ close to genius. That's how smart he is, even though he has a ton of quirks and things that make him very unique. And then I have my second brother. He was the peacemaker in the family. Very happy. I think even as a baby, he was a happy baby from what I remember of my mom sharing stories. She would say, my oldest brother was kind of more on the difficult side as a baby. My middle brother was the easiest baby, And then for me, my mom said I was okay too. Yeah, she didn't say I was too much or too anything. She just said I was okay. Let's move on. Let's go a little more into the future now. Yes, my dad was very involved in a lot of different churches, whether it was for his business or wanting to help churches financially or get money from churches when he was struggling financially. Church and money was always connected for him, my dad. 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 13, 14, 15 years ago, maybe, his business just... So maybe I should scoot back a little bit. I'm now in middle school. My dad was making a company, his own security camera company, and it grew way faster than a normal beginning company would. He made a lot of money in a short period of time, but then it's okay. But then 10 years... Willie, it's okay. Just like maybe 45 minutes, okay? Just 45 minutes. All right. There's people talking outside, that's why he's making those sounds, but yes, that is Mr. Willie for you. Okay, what was I saying? But once the economy crashed, so did my dad's company also crashed. The financial struggles, I think, began to affect my parents' relationship more than it was already affected. I would say that they weren't the most warmest couple. I wouldn't say that they expressed a lot of love to each other. I don't think neither of them knew how. I don't think neither of them experienced it in their own homes growing up. I didn't see it growing up with my parents. When I would see them hold hands, which very rare occasion, it'd be like if we went out to eat and we were waiting for a reservation, walking around Japantown we were at, and I remember I took a picture of them holding hands because I never saw them hold hands. I'm getting emotional because I feel sad that, they didn't experience love with each other or experience love in their own homes the way a warm, loving family would. And I'm sure there's so many people out there, that can relate to this exact situation. And so kind of like, when you're brought up that way and then you kind of do the same with your children and the cycle kind of keeps going on. And so I think that's what happened in my family growing up as well. There was not a lot of love or warmth, but there was a roof over our head, nice clothes, food to eat whatever we wanted. I'm not boasting, by the way. All these things literally mean nothing to me. Of course they're nice, but it's literally nothing. All these things are literally just things. Like, this is a thing, right? This is a thing. This is a thing. Maybe a little more expensive compared to this one. A lot more expensive. This is a thing. All these things are literally just that. They're just things. Why was I saying that? All right, so that was kind of like a backstory on the kind of house I grew up in. I guess I'll share now just a brief history of my mental health. I was very tunnel visioned. I was very gullible and like I was observant, but at the same time, like I just could not see. I guess maybe I felt so strongly in whatever I was feeling that I was unable to see outside of that, because all I could feel is what was going on here, you know what I mean? So if I'm like looking around and whatever, I wouldn't think of it as, oh, they're feeling something. I would think of it as, oh, I'm feeling all these feelings and I don't know why. And I think the home I grew up in there was a lot of anger. There was a lot of anxiety. That's the kind of home that it was. So that became a part of me, this anger and anxiety, which is something that I struggled with really, really badly. Anger for a long time. I punched the wall so many times that my knuckle literally like doesn't move, like the skin, you know what I mean? Or I've like slammed my arm against a really hard wooden surface and broke it or fractured it. I don't remember what it was, but I had to get like a full-on cast and like rested for 3 months. The point is, I had very bad anger issues, and I think so does my dad. Yeah, and also anxiety is a huge, ever since even, I think it started in middle school and got worse once high school happened. I just always had lingering anxiety, or I always felt like this inside me is just being squeezed and not feeling like free inside. I was very hopeless and empty and so desperate to connect with someone or for someone to understand me, and a lot of rage and a lot of feeling like no one understands me. But it was more than just like, you know, a normal teenager feeling like no one understands me. Like I really needed and desired to want to connect with someone. I would always share things with people to see if, like, because I want to also for them to share with me, which is something that did happen a lot when I would meet people and I would open up with them and then they would open up with me and we would have like that connecting moment. And I think I wanted that because I didn't have that in my family growing up. I was diagnosed with borderline bipolar disorder in high school. I don't have borderline bipolar disorder. I actually have borderline personality disorder, but in the past 5 years, I've learned to manage it. Anyone watching this that has borderline personality disorder, you know, you know how intense everything feels. Like the best way to describe what it feels like is just everything you feel is so intense. Like the anger, you literally become anger. When you're hopeless, you literally become hopeless, or empty, you literally become empty. And these are a lot of emotions that people with borderline personality disorder experience, and a lot of hopelessness and emptiness, and that is a lot of what I experienced. Was it because of the disorder or because my home situation? I don't know. There's different studies on it specifically, like is it something that happens because of your upbringing, or is it something that happens because it's genetics? And I think it could be both. I think if you have it, they say that most likely your children will also have it. A therapist or psychiatrist mentioned that when there's inconsistencies in emotions in your early childhood, that could cause your child to get borderline personality disorder. I do recall a lot of moments of that, or feeling unsure of if, like, are they saying what they're saying, or why are they being different now? I know when I say that, I'm being very generalized because I don't want to point fingers or put anyone to be looked in a bad way. Anyways, that is the gist of me and my mental, I guess, things, just the BPD, a lot of anxiety, and I think the anxiety is the one thing that I haven't been able to figure out how to handle. Maybe God will show me later down the line. I'm sure he will. I just have to believe. But he's helped me a lot with my anger, and he's helped me a lot with even the BPD. And I think I also had some tendencies, or on the spectrum of covert narcissism. I think because my parents had narcissistic traits as well, it was natural for me to also become that way, that kind of thinking. Covert narcissism is different from just narcissism in general. Narcissistic people tend to be a lot more shiny, a lot more like this, I guess, versus this, let's say. I don't know. Covert narcissism is more like poor me, I deserve this, I deserve that, like, poor me, kind of being very obsessive of the poor me and the like feel bad for me kind of thing, and a lot of passive aggressive behavior. I can say I did not have passive aggressive behavior, and a lot of people with covert narcissistic traits do. So I don't know if I did have the covert narcissistic traits or if it was just the BPD. But I know I did have some kind of tunnel vision where I was unable to, like, experience other people or know how I was making other people feel in that moment. It was always later on I would realize, whoa, maybe I did this or that or something like that. I was a very selfish person, always only thought about myself. I thought I was a caring person when nothing I did showed that I was a caring person. Everything I did showed that I was just a rebellious, angry person for a long time, till probably like 25, 26 years old, is when finally, like, it was like I could see now. I think God helped me in finally breaking from those blinders of, I had to stop wanting to feel that way, of feeling like I deserve to act like this, I deserve to feel like this, oh, poor me, look at my life, like, look at what happened, like, oh, like, I deserve, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to say it, except I felt like I deserved to act the way I was acting and feel the way I was feeling, which was sad and angry and empty and hopeless. And working at the grocery store, if you've been with me on my channel, in my previous videos, you'll know that I worked at the grocery store. If you're new, I worked at the grocery store for like 6 years. Anyways, working there, you see a lot of different people, and I would observe the people, and I would see, how come this person looks and feels like that, and how come I look and feel like this? And that was the moment, I guess, I became tired of myself. I was so tired of myself, tired of being like this poor me attitude, and I deserve things in the world. I deserve the world to give me more of, I think I like more of like, why am I working at a grocery store? How come I didn't continue art school and like go and become this famous fashion designer that was my dream, and blah 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 blah. Like, I was playing the victim all my life and feeling like I deserved to act like this, and deserved to feel like this, and deserved to be as rebellious as I wanted to be because of my life, which wasn't a horrible one. But it wasn't a loving one either. But anyways, that is how I used to feel. I used to always feel like I deserved more. My life, and like blaming others for my actions, always blamed others for my life and my actions, when the truth is, I made those choices. I did those things. Even though my life was like this or whatever, doesn't mean someone forced me to do that bad thing I did, you know? Like, I did that thing, and it took me so long to realize that. It took me, I'm getting cold all of a sudden. It took me so long to just admit and say, I did this. You know, I did these things, and I allowed these things, and I am not a good person. I am not a kind person. I am not kind to other people at all. I wasn't kind to people at all, and I still struggle to be kind. Like, when you get frustrated or annoyed with stupid small things, you know, like, I'm easy to judge others, and that is something that I'm also working on. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt now versus before, constantly judging other people so much. There's a verse in the Bible that says, I can't remember, but like, it's pretty much saying to not judge others because you have your own issues too. And who are we to judge other people, you know, because I have issues too. You have issues too. We all have issues, no matter who you think you are. Even that guy right there has issues too. We all have issues, and we all have different quirks. And wow, okay, it stopped. But yes, we all have different quirks and different things that make us us, right? And in certain points in our life, a coworker said this to me, everyone in their life, there is a choice that they make. The things that happen in their lives, are they going to use it as an excuse for their actions, or are they going to learn from it and grow and be better and be stronger? And by the grace of God, I believe at the age 25, 26, finally realized and learned, I want to be better. I don't want to play the victim card anymore. I don't want to have all these excuses for my actions. I don't want to be that person anymore. And I was able to change, I think, by the grace of God, and also just like, you know, I cared so much to be better. I hated who I was when I finally saw who I was. Yeah. When I finally chose and realized the truth about myself, was when I was able to make these changes by the grace of God and His help and the teachings in the Bible. When I realized these things in myself, I think that is what caused me to become hypervigilant, because now that I was so aware of everything, and it was like my blinders got taken away, and I can see people and understand people better. It was weird. I don't know how to describe it. It literally just felt like blinders came off my eyes, and I became very hyper aware of people and people's emotions and my own emotions, and how I was affecting other people, or how, things like that. And I think this too also caused me to become hypervigilant, which is not necessarily a good thing, because you're kind of always on this flight or flight mode kind of feeling. I want to explain more of that in the next video, because that could be a long video in itself. I wanted to just briefly share with you guys my mental health things, and also just a background on my upbringing, which was very not detailed, I know. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Hypervigilance. All right. So that's a little story about me, and a little bit about my upbringing, a little bit about my mental health, or a lot about my mental health. If you can relate, please share with me in the comments your experiences and the things you guys struggle with. If you feel comfortable to share, I would love to hear those things. And I just want to encourage that the difficult things in our life are not bad. They're actually moments for us to learn about ourselves and other people, and we should look at difficult moments as gifts. Obviously, I can't say that for everything, like if, I just mean it in general, not so literal, I guess. For example, like if you're in a human trafficking situation, obviously, I wouldn't want to say that to someone in that situation, but I'm just talking about just normal life, difficult things that everyone goes through, not these things that only certain people go through. Obviously, those are those situations, or like this person that got freaking attacked by some serial killer, but they got away. Like, obviously, that's not something that everyone goes through. So I hope no one takes that the wrong way, because I am not trying to hurt anyone. If anything, I want to encourage and maybe help someone out there that used to think or thinks the way I was when I was younger, and just very tunnel vision. And I wish there was someone that had told me how I was, and told me that I was being selfish, that I wasn't seeing how I was affecting other people. I don't know. Maybe someone did, but it didn't click in my head. I don't know. From my knowledge right now, I don't recall many people telling me, and I guess I just wish someone did, because I do care to be a good person in general, not because I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, but in general, I do care to be a good person, and to treat people well, because it's important to treat people well, whether you're a religious person or not. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this was encouraging somehow to someone out there, or maybe even relatable. And I know that can be comforting too. I hope it wasn't so like, oh, poor me, because that's not what I'm trying to do at all. It's the exact opposite. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye. Oh. shake you. I shaked you. I'm shaking you. Well, he's always keeping an eye on me. Do you see that, you guys?